Here it is. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Trust me, bro. I'm Jay Chains hanging out with my guy Keeper.
Yo. I actually was just like confirming my age via. Let me see if it's going to do it here. TikTok was making me confirm my age. I haven't been live on my new account since I got banned. And it's made me confirm my age, and it was like, well, prove to me that you're 41 years old. And I'm like, I don't have time to prove this to you. What else can I do? And it's like, hey, let me just do some facial rec, and it's going to tell me that you're freaking old. And so that's what just happened. So TikTok in 5 seconds said, yep, this dude is not lying about his age. He's old.
Yeah, just there should just be a checkbox at the bottom, like, I'm a boomer, leave me alone.
I mean, literally, it was like, well, just put your face in there and we'll figure it out for you. And I'm like, okay, fantastic. That'll work. Because the other thing it wanted was your ID. And now we're getting into, like, the CCP and all the craziness that they, we're giving out a little too much info there. So if you are watching from TikTok, if you are watching from YouTube, if you are watching from X, if you are, I don't care. I don't know where you're watching from, but smash the likes, do that. You know how to do that. And then secondly, make sure that you're following myself. Make sure you're following Jay Chains. Make sure you're following Jenna. Jenna is not here today. We love you, Jenna. We understand she, you know what? She's been sporadic, and the reasons being, and I can't, dude, it's fight week. It's fight camp. She's getting ready for her fight. I get it. So I'm not going to give her too much crap.
So yeah, this Friday, everybody's departing from their respective home court. I will be departing from Atlanta. Let's see,
dude, what a long flight. I like envy you because I want to go, but at the same time, what do you got? 24 hours of flying?
Like something 20. I think so. It's 13 and a half from here to Qatar, and then 8 from Qatar to Singapore.
Okay,
8 hours. It'll be fun.
All right.
And it's like a 3.5 hour layover in Qatar. So you got time to get some lunch, got time to do what I got to do.
Is it just you going? The wife, the kids not going, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Just me. Going to, so it's great. I'm actually really excited. So I'm going to corner for Ken, blue corner. Let's go. And then 2 fights later, I'm going to be cornering for Aaron, the blonde broker, in the red corner. So I got to get my blue and red swag all squared away.
Hold on. No. Are you serious?
100%.
Oh my.
And
what?
Aaron said that she has to grab a snack. I think she's doing some training. She's going to grab a snack. She may join us today.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun. That'll definitely be fun. Does Jenna know that piece of information that you just?
Yeah. We had talked. Yeah, remember when we had talked about it? She said, remember, because she had said last fight when she came out, like for the fight, is when she found out that like one of her sponsors or something was actually in the other corner, and she said that kind of was a little defeating there mentally or whatever. And that's why we squared it away early on. We said this weeks ago. I think it was episode 3 of the show.
I remember having the conversation, but I thought it was a joke. I didn't actually think that you were going to be over there. So this just, man, this is going to be fun. Chat.
Listen, homies, they're both homies. Jenna's a homie. Aaron is a homie. So it's, I'm there to support everybody. But, obviously Aaron asked if I could hang out in the corner. I said, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. No, that's dope. I mean, at the end of the day, right, these are influencer fights. These are not professional fighters long term. Now they're working their butt off just to exactly like a professional fighter. So I'm super proud of Aaron, super proud of Jenna, super proud of anybody. You've done it. I've started to train for it before I broke. Like, it's a lot of work, man. It is a lot of. If you've ever been in a fight like out in the street. Most street fights last very short amount of time. Most street fights last a very short amount of time. But if you've ever been in a fight where that hasn't lasted a short amount of time, it is absolutely exhausting. Now, take that idea, and Jay, you can talk to this better than even I can. Now put yourself in front of thousands of people, or possibly more than that, or that those eyes are on you. Now you have the adrenaline dump in your face, all of these eyes watching, and you're about to square off with. So, I mean, bro, I just, woof.
Yo, I'm telling you, that is the real deal, right? So my karate combat IFC fight against Billy McFarland in Austin at Consensus. I mean, there were, I think, a couple thousand people in the room, including Joe Rogan.
That's right. Joe Rogan was there with us that day. That's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So like those guys were in the building watching my fight. And I believe at the end of the night, over 20 million people had seen the fight.
Oh
Like,
my
kidding me?
gosh.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, dude, it's yeah, it's impressive. So I just want to say shout out to Jenna. We understand why you can't be here,
100%.
and if Aaron's gonna come on, great. Tell her to come on and hang out. Let me jump into the chat real quick, bro. Who we got today? Who was first in the chat? I like
Shout
to
out
always see who's first.
that real quick. Hope you guys are well.
Looks like
Blocky. What's up, Blocky?
Blocky
Brian.
Crypto. DJ and Brian, who else is up in here? We got DJ and Brian and Blocky have been talking back and forth a little bit. It's a little
Double
slow.
O Tats is in the building. Yo.
Who is this? Tat?
Double O Tats.
Double
So
O.
he's the resident in-house tattoo artist at the Vegas Crypto Club, Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club.
Oh yeah.
So we did. So I was actually just flew back in yesterday from Vegas. I was out there for the last several days. We were doing some hanging out, training, doing some content.
Yeah.
And here we go. Check this out.
Did you get some work? I realized I had my headphones on, but I've got this playing through the speakers for TikTok, so I could take my headphones off now. I can hear you better.
There you go. Oh, you got the sunshades on too. I threw mine in my suitcase because I'm packing for Singapore already.
I don't know if I'm going to keep them on or not. Let me see what you got. What is it?
It's a green boxing glove with a Bitcoin B on it, Bitcoin Cash, depending on how you look at it.
Nice.
And then across the strap of the glove, it says HODL. Here.
Nice. I wish I could.
Is that better?
Yes. That's dope. The HODL part is got a little shiner on it right now, just from the light. But yes, I can see it. It's literally like the strap where your name or the brand or whatever would be, right?
Yep.
That's dope, dude. That's super dope.
Yes, my guy double. Also, let's see. I'm gonna work on
Tat.
What's that?
I said 00 Tat.
Double O. He's the homie. So he does tattoos there at the club. So if you guys are going out to Vegas and you want to check out Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Las Vegas Club, y'all should do that. And then my guy 00 Tats handing out free tattoos.
That's what's up.
Okay, so this is what I need here. I need in the music. I'm gonna play you something.
Okay.
And I got to add it in this specific spot.
While you're doing that, I want to tell everybody, Jay Chains and I have been talking a lot in the background, and Jenna as well. And Jenna will be back, like I said, after the fight. But we had talked to you about wanting to bring entertainment. We would want to talk to you about wanting to bring value. We would want to talk to you about all that. And I think what also that we didn't really touch on maybe the first week, but you heard a lot of it last week, is the mental health aspect of just life in general. There's a lot that happens, and we'll get into this today, but there's a lot that happens within the crypto space, and not even just crypto, just life in general. And a lot of you are here or know us because of crypto. We really want to talk about just real life, raw, what's going on with you. And we hope that can be a helpful thing for each and every person in the audience. I know for me, without diving into it too much, I know for me, like being able to talk to other people that have been through some things that you've been through or are struggling with or have succeeded and been on the mountaintop, those are really important things, and we can help each other through. So that we're going to be doing a lot of that as well. We just want to have a very real, we don't want to give you a performance, I guess what I'm saying, right? We just want to have some real conversations, give you some real value, have some real fun, have some laughs as well. And that's what Trust Me Bro is all about. We want you to come on here and be like, you know what? I feel that, and I feel it's real, exactly what we just heard and saw. So
100%. And so we'll get into that. We're actually going to do a mental wellness, personal wellness check-in here in a second. And then also that goes for anybody in the chat. Like, this is your time too. Like, obviously it's not like a Twitter space is going on, so you can't come up to the stage and participate that way. But as far as like, if you're in the chat, you're in the crowd hanging out, like when we go through this, like talk, type something. If you feel comfortable with it, type it. Okay, but here, you got to check this out real quick. And I'm just going to tease it. I ain't playing the whole thing because it's just too darn good, but.
Okay.
Yeah. 00 Tats. Yeah. James in a chair. Ink heavy, we don't play fair. Bitcoin Cash on the knuckles, green gloves in the air. Yeah, James swinging in them green gloves, hard chatted, Bitcoin Cash tatted, living like a trap god. Money.
All right, that's all you get. That's all you
Hold
get.
up. Who did that?
So 00.
Oh, he does music too?
Right. So you get the
I gotta
song
meet this guy.
that goes with your tattoo.
Oh, that's part of the deal.
Well, that's what he did for me.
Well, you're
I think you
special.
should probably do it for other people too.
You're special, but that's dope.
Well, I think so. Miggy got a tattoo as well, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, like there was one for him. So I think that might be part of the deal. Is like you get the free tattoo, but you also get a song. And look, that is going to be like an intro to shows. That's going to be an intro, like a walkout for me.
I
like
love it.
September plus, if that's something that we get lined up, like
I love it, dude. And I've got some tattoo work actually that I'm gonna be doing a 3/4 sleeve over here, like kind of filling in a bunch of stuff over here to match all the stuff and then wrapping around the top of my back. Maybe I'll have to talk to Double O Tat about saving a piece, because a lot of what I'm doing over here is going to be some crypto related stuff, which I think would definitely be the conversation to have, depending on the style that he's able to put out there. I'm definitely gonna do. I think I've showed you like kind of more like the hyper realism, black and grays type stuff. Every artist can do and can't. And some artists will just say, "Hey, that's not my thing. I'm not gonna, whatever." But shout out to you, Double O Tat. First of all, that sounds like some raw country, bro. Like raw, like trap country, which I really like. That's dope. I like it. And the tattoo looks good. So.
And real quick, it's Double O Tats. You got to. It's with an S. Dollar cash sign S.
Double O Tats. Not just one tat, but lots of tats. Double O Tat says, "Yeah, come get it. I'll be listening to, and be listening to your custom song while you get tatted." I love it, dude. What a creative idea. There's so many creative ideas in crypto, and there's a lot of crap in crypto at the same time. I think this is just a cool idea. So where is he based? Is he working out of a shop?
Yeah, so the shop is inside the club in Vegas there. They're in the Arts District, which if you've not been to the Arts District of Las Vegas, it's like, we're like, I was hanging out with Bobcat. We went to, bar hopping one night. We checked out a couple spots, and man, I felt like I was just in any other town in the US, like Austin, Texas, hanging out with a couple cool vibe bars and dive bars and stuff. Like if I were to have been kidnapped and dropped off in one of those bars and someone said, "Guess where you're at?" the absolute last thing I would have ever said was Las Vegas. I felt like it was a normal place. That to me, like, I love that. That's a very home aspect of Las Vegas. And so if you haven't checked out the Arts District, it's kind of like Wynwood in Miami, super vibey. So yeah. So
DJ Brian said where Chum Lee has his sweet shop. I'm trying to think of where that's at, bro. I've been to Vegas a number of times. I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to think of where. So can you give me an idea spatially?
Do you know where the Stratosphere is?
Yes.
Okay. It literally is about a 10-minute walk, it's like a block or two north, and then
hold on. Is it a little strip? Is it like a little strip?
Yeah,
I
like
think I saw
Commerce Street, something like that. Main Street, I think, is what it's called. And yeah, there's just like, bars and restaurants and tattoo shops and cool stuff. Again, it's just like any other cool ass small town.
Yeah,
small city or whatever. It doesn't. You do not think you're in Vegas at all, except for the fact that if you look up in the sky, you can see the Stratosphere.
But he's got his. Is it his shop?
So inside the clubhouse.
Just trying to understand.
It's only clubhouse. It's a private membership only clubhouse.
Yeah.
So inside of that clubhouse, they built almost like 3 little offices, right?
Okay.
One of them is the tattoo room, so that it's more sterile, right? You've got your own space.
Right.
And then there's a storage closet, and then a normal office. And so he's got like a space inside of the clubhouse that's specifically for him.
That's super cool, dude.
So
I'm with the Double O Tats. Looking forward to meeting you, bro. I have taken a little bit of a hiatus from my crypto travels, but there is going to be a kick back up, a ramp back up of some traveling going on, as it were, with crypto here before too terribly long for me, and I'm excited. So yeah, I'll definitely look to link up with you. So Doe, bro, let's I said Doe. So Doe. First of all, Adventureful Mama, thank you for reposting the stream. Double O Tats, thank you as well. But tell me, dude, let's do a little personal wellness check-in. Let's start the show. First of all, if you're in the chat, I would love to make this a very open and just a very real raw thing. Mm-hmm. Toss in the chat maybe something that you're either struggling with this week or that you have overcome, or even in life. I don't care. Just if you could toss something into the chat that we could see, hey, I've overcome this, or I'm struggling with this, or this is something that I'm kind of bringing to the table. So I'll start with you, Jay. Let's do a little check-in. How are you doing? Just how is Jay Chains doing?
I'm okay. Right now, though, if we're being raw and real today, I'm absolutely struggling. Okay. Right? I will always be okay, but I'm absolutely struggling. Why? Money, man. Obviously, my whole situation changed several months ago, and whether I thought the market was going to be a little bit different or whatever, right? Like I expected different results over the last several months, and being able to, whether it's get my channel off the ground, or even the media company off the ground for that matter, right? And it's just been a lot slower moving than I really had anticipated. And so unfortunately, not only that, I got hacked. So I've been spending crypto as kind of like my to make life go on, and then that happened, so that kind of cut the runway out a little bit more. And so I'm stressed, man. Like I'm going to Singapore, one, to do a job, right? To corner for some friends and make sure that we've got good fights and that people stay healthy and that we make the right decisions as a corner man. But also to token 2049 to find a job. Like, this is a shit or get off the pot time for me, right? Like I'm running out of money. And so it's either go get a job back in Web 2 or find something here in Web 3. And I feel like I'm so close. I've been doing this. I'm like in it so far that it doesn't even make sense to like back out of crypto and Web 3.
Yeah.
But this is a decision I have to make ultimately for my family. It's like, if I can't find a job between now and the end of Singapore, like,
you've got to figure something out.
Guys, but I got to support my family.
Yeah, of course.
That's been killing me mentally, but
Well, I'll definitely be praying for you on that, dude. I know we've talked about it. We've talked about it quite a bit, but that's tough. I mean, everybody in the audience knows this, right? Like a lot of people, and I will say, and I've seen this in crypto a lot of people kind of flex and front and act as if they've got, they've got it all together, or they've got millions of, they're crypto millionaire, whether they are, whether they aren't. I know that there's a lot of just BS that runs rampant through crypto. And I just want to say shout out to you for just being able to admit, hey, I'm struggling. What do you think? We're talking to the audience. You just never know where people are like, hey, I've got an idea. What do you think? What would you like to do the most? What would you be? I mean, I know you do anything to support your family, but if you just got to pick and you're like, hey, I want to stay in Web 3, would there be anything in particular that you'd be like, yeah, this is what I'd like to do?
Yeah. I mean, so I've been attaching myself to some of the job boards here that you can find, and there's like one, what is it? Crypto jobs list. Let me just see if I got it. Yeah, crypto jobs.
You probably got one, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so like I see things come out all the time now, and I've been like trying to comment on it and researching the companies that they're seeing, and so it's like for business development or content creation or some kind of community liaisons or stuff, and I feel like being able to even stack up a couple of these, because some of them are super small paying, but the idea of being able to accomplish your goals and tasks within a short period of time, right, to fulfill that obligation. That's not a 24/7 kind of a thing, but to be able to do that and then stack a few of those little jobs up, again, kind of just really boosting your experience in the ecosystem. I feel like, and I'm not only talking to myself here, I'm talking to other people of like things that we can do, but from the point of saying like, hey, business development, marketing, sales, stuff like that. Those are what I'm looking for. And then obviously, because I create content, because I'm comfortable behind a camera, because I can speak with a microphone in my hand, any kind of event-based or, content-based stuff are the things that I'm looking for. So that's what I'm keeping my eye out for. But, it is what it is. Yeah. It's interesting right now. I'm one of the things that I struggle with, and we had talked about this last week, I think, when we were really harping on, the people of our ecosystem. And I just spent some time in Vegas with a lot of people in crypto too that feel the same way, that there's a lot of shitbags here.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're in this funny time where because it's so institutionally driven, I feel like the crypto YouTube, and I see the comment from DJ and Brian saying that the views are way down in crypto, and it is, right? Retail's gone. And so because it's institutionally driven, they're watching the MSNBCs, the Fox Business, the news-based traditional media shows. And there's really not a whole lot of crypto people that are watching the videos, but what they are watching right now is the pump fund streams, right? Like that's the only thing that's getting views is if you're pump fund streaming and you're doing something fucking wild.
Yeah.
So it's like, I prefer not to lower my standards of who I am and what I do in order to get the views, in order to get the attention, in order to make the money. But like, is that the right move? I mean, yes. And Brian, like there are some legacy channels absolutely that get the views, right? Those are the channels that get it. They've got the legacy viewers. We've got some older clientele or community people here in crypto that, again, those are, even before the last round of influencers we got, we're talking like the OGs, like the first time, they still got their core audience, and those guys have, they have the chops to keep going because they made a fuckload of money over the last 10 years or whatever, however long they've been doing it. So, it's a different ball game now. It's a different ecosystem right now, totally different. And so you think like, is there a point to keeping going with it?
Yeah. Well, I for one think that you do something that you love. I know you hear people say that, it sounds really cliche, but the reason that I love, so I'll be very raw and real on this. The construction industry pays my bills. The actual industry itself, not a fan, bro. I mean, I'm a glorified babysitter. I make really good money doing what I do. I'm happy interacting with the homeowners. I enjoy the sales part of it and the back and forth. Like, there's a lot, the finished product, looking at what my guys are able to build and able to succeed, like to do. It's incredible to me. The amount that I've learned, like, there's not much of anything around a house at this point that I couldn't look at and analyze and tell you, hey, here's what needs to happen. Now, would I know personally how to do it? No. But what I'm getting at is that I love the freedom that working for myself gives me. But if I could just straight up work for myself and be in Web3 in some form or fashion, I think I would do it. But what I'm starting to, and I'll get into kind of my stuff right now. I think what I'm starting to see, man, probably the happiest that I've been has been when I've been able to truly help people. I used to speak a lot at schools. I used to speak at schools about drugs and alcohol and sex and just like
part of the recovery.
Like, actually, yeah, like recovery related stuff. But like at high schools, it was more like, hey, the man standing in front of you today is not the man that, of 10 years ago, effectively, right? And I loved doing that because there would be people that would come up to me afterwards and talk to me. Hey, I'm really, what, I'm going through it right now. My older brother is doing X, Y, and Z. Do you have any like thoughts on it? Anyways, basically the core of what I'm saying is that I felt like I was providing a service for people that genuinely made their lives better or gave them an opportunity to look at something in a different form or fashion, or give them, an opportunity that maybe they otherwise didn't have. So back up to the Charlie Kirk stuff that just recently happened. It has sparked a fire inside of me to want to get back to that. And because I've been diving so hard and deep into my faith recently, I've taken on just basically like this whole new meaning to what social media means for me. So and I know we hadn't talked about this, so this is surprise. I'm going to hit you with this, but ultimately, just being raw with you. I feel like before, in the past, I knew what it would take. Let's use TikTok as an example. When I had my account before and had a good, big following on there, I knew what to say in the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of a video to have the hook, to catch somebody, to be controversial, to whatever, to get views, right? And I was getting paid for views and or getting paid from a sponsor. You would get views and then the sponsor would say, oh, this person is getting views. Okay, cool. We'll pay him to do X, Y, and Z, whatever. But at the end of the day, it was all about that. It was all about me saying something sensational or controversial or whatever to get views, to make money. And as I started the TikTok account back up again, my girlfriend kind of challenged me on this. And she was like, you know what? You've told me time and time and time again how much just good, how much positivity you get from helping other people. Your faith as a part of all of the drugs and the chaos that was your life before is a huge part of what's helped you work through, these things. And you love sharing that. Why are you not doing that on social media? And I'm like, it challenged me, man. I really thought about it. I was like, I am getting in front of a camera with the intention of getting clicks and views, as opposed to thinking, how can I help somebody today? Like, for real. It hit me hard. I was like, man, damn, I'm not doing the right thing here, right? Fine. We live in a world, in a society where you get paid for clicks, you get paid for view, all of that. Fine. So if 10,000 people watch this right now, Jay, but you and I have a conversation that gives nobody any value in any sort of sense or whatever, why? What do we do? What do we actually do, right? And so for me, I'm really trying to change the way I'm looking at things. So like on TikTok, as an example, on YouTube, the views way down. I've been doing a bunch of content talking about my faith, talking about some of my history, like that's just all I've been doing. And at first it was discouraging because I'm like, well, I know if I start talking about XRP, I can get 100,000 views real quick on saying this, that, and the third. And then I was like, but wait a minute. But what do we actually get out of that? Who learned something from that? Who actually, whatever. And so I'm trying to think about, hey, can I have a conversation with J Chains today on YouTube where one person in the comments out of the however many people are watching actually walks away from the show today and they're rejuvenated, they're energized, they feel like they got a piece of something that is going to help them in their personal life, period, and actually doing something good. And for me, a big part of that is my faith is Jesus. But like, even if you're like wanting to take that piece out for whatever reason, though I wouldn't advise it, even if you are, what can we do good? What can we do good for people? Like, why are we really here? And I want to do something good for people, man. I don't know. I don't want to just live for views.
Having a perspective, like, okay, so like one of the things that you hit on, right? Again, you look at the pump fund streams and why the attention is going there, or traditionally what the attention went to in this is like, how can you make me money? If you can make me money, I'll watch you. Like that's all that people fucking cared about. It wasn't so much, and even like, okay, so the theme of the show today, like crypto markets and mental health, like they go synonymously because they can ruin your mental health, right? And so there's a lot of people who don't talk about this kind of stuff, and whether it makes people uncomfortable or they don't want to address the elephant in the room, whatever it may be, like we understand the risks, we understand the struggles, we understand all that stuff, and so why not have the capacity to talk about it? Because I think it's important, right?
Yeah.
It's important,
of course.
Like, so like going back to like the faith thing and stuff, we talked a little bit about this last week, and I mean, you understand where I'm at on this, but I'm glad that staying true and authentic to yourself is something that's more important to you at this particular stage. And I feel like that's that's part of growing up and being with a wise elder in the ecosystem. But it's like we can't just continue to, in my mind, promote like the absolute degeneracy of what the system presents. Because again, you think about this in the real world, like again, Vegas, Atlantic City, Beale Street, Bourbon Street, all that, like that's not everywhere. That's not every street. Those are very select places. And that's just like the degen places here in crypto. But we think like the rest of and this is just about the United States map here, right? Like the rest of the map here is filled with like normal shit, normal life stuff. And so I think it's important to talk about the more important things other than when moon.
Yeah. I mean, Times New Roman said people don't want to hear real conversations. All they want to talk about is getting rich. This world is in trouble. And I see a lot of that, right? Like you post a video with a Lambo and you tell somebody you're going to tell them how to make enough money to pay for a Lambo in a week. And that video is going to get 1 million views. And then you tell somebody, hey, I want to teach you the true meaning behind what it looks like to find peace in your life, and something's going to slide right by it. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Have you ever actually had true peace in your life and know what that feels like? There is absolutely nothing like that. You cannot buy that. You can't, you know what I mean? And I feel like I want to be able to get back to how can I just do good for people and provide. We always talk about providing value. If that's the value that I'm going to bring, fine. Let's talk about crypto. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about the fight. Let's do all of those things. But at its core, I want somebody to walk away from our show and be like, you want to know why I watch those guys? You want to know why I watch Jenna and Keeper and Jay? It's because I actually walk away feeling, not just feeling better, but I learned something, or this brought something out of me today that I can pass along to somebody else, because I do want to make this world a better place. I know it sounds, like a hippie or whatever, but like, dude,
go hug a tree, hippie.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just where I'm at, man. And so I'm trying to reframe and restructure. This past week, I had a meeting. I've got a men's group. So tonight I have a small group with my church, and it's like 8 of us, and just love the people in that group. It's great. On Monday, every other Monday, I meet with a small men's group. We call it a huddle. It's 4 guys that effectively, and dude, like we just hold each other accountable. We talk about real life things. We talk about marriage. We talk about just like how work is going. We talk about just real life, normal things, but actually hold each other accountable. And somebody said something last night I wanted to share with you. He said, without commitment, there is no accountability. So he pressed on one of the guys. One of the guys was talking about something. I'm not going to get into the details, but he's talking about something that he's struggling with. And he said, okay, well, you're not going to do that again, right? And his response was, well, I'm going to do my best, and just kind of, he gave that response, right? And there's nothing wrong with that response and doing your best and whatever. And he stopped him and he said, hey, listen, man, we're here to be iron sharpening iron. We're here to make each other better. You cannot have accountability without a commitment. I need a commitment from you. Don't tell me I'm going to try, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. Commit to me, because with that commitment, and I was like, because it felt very uncomfortable. I'm sitting at the table feeling very uncomfortable because this was a very serious conversation and whatever. But I walked away from that thinking, wow, like he genuinely challenged his friend on a very real basis, on a very real thing happening in his life that would make his life better if he could let this thing go and walk forward from it. Mm-hmm. So let's get some commitment. And so I would say to the people watching the show, like, what can we commit to in our personal lives to try to do? You always talk about it, Jay. How do I be 1% better? How do I just be that 1% better? Well, it's probably going to be committing to something that that you should not be participating in your personal life, or something that you should be doing that you're otherwise not doing. I don't know. I just see a lot of opportunity there.
You know what, you say that, and it makes me think, because like how can you start to quantify, and I feel like this is something I need to do. How can I start to quantify that 1% better every day, right? I need to have buckets, and I need to put this on my whiteboard of like every vertical or aspect of my life that I can start to improve, right? And there it is. Like,
how's the metric? How are you actually measuring it, you're saying?
Yeah, like, am I just saying it, or am I actually like living, talking the talk and walking the walk? Like, okay, so put like relationships and fatherhood and as a leader and as a, I don't know, for career, whatever. So you have all these buckets, and you start to maybe, and it might be challenging at first, but you find all of the places where you're coming up short, all the things like, okay, here we go. I've been having a chat with my wife. Like, there are times, and it's not like terrible things, but living up, like you said, accountability and commitments. Like, okay, I say I'm going to do this, like, and actually coming through with it and doing it. Like, some stupid as like, the garbage, on Monday nights or Friday, whatever fucking day a garbage day is at my house. I feel like I haven't been here in months. I don't even remember anymore. But it's like, and then, 7 o'clock, you hear the garbage truck roll by, and it's just like, motherfucker, I forgot to do
it. And so, but then what are you pulling from that? Like, what? So
all right. So on, jokes aside, I write down all the different verticals, again, aspects of my life where I feel like either I need improvement or just all of them. We just do a sweeping thing and just come together with in a list of where can I make those 1% improvements, and then again, that's staying on a list. So now when I look at it and be like, all right, am I being a better father? Am I being a better show host? Am I being a better friend? Am I being a better husband? Like, and things like where I know that maybe I'm falling short on, it's not I decide out of mind anymore. It's right up there in front of your face, in front of my face. I'm more of a, it's got to be in my face kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. Somebody said, would you rather have loyalty or respect?
Whoa. From who?
And I was thinking about that, and that was my question. Who are we asking, right? So I think my knee-jerk reaction is loyalty.
People are not loyal. By human nature, like, they're not loyal. Like, people are greedy, people are selfish, it's just where they are. And so I think fundamentally, and I don't mean to cut you off, and I'll apologize.
No, go hit it.
I feel like it really is situational, right? Like, you think about like your significant other. Would you rather have them be loyal to you or respect you? Like, probably loyal. You want both, but you have to pick one.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, I thought it was a really interesting question, and I thought the same thing as you did. Like, well, it depends on who we're talking about here. As a whole, I think I would say loyalty, but respect, as it were, with, you know, your children as you're trying. If you actually have earned the respect, and I think you earn respect. I don't think you command respect. I don't think that you know, force someone to. You can't force someone to respect you. They learn to respect you because you have earned that, right? Also, same thing with loyalty. Same idea. Someone is loyal to you because you have earned that, as a general rule. Now, there's going to be exceptions to this. There's going to be outliers. But as a general rule, people are loyal to you for one of two reasons. Either one, because they're your blood, they're your family, they're never going anywhere, and it just is what it is. Or two, you have earned in some type of way, shape, or form that loyalty from them. And, you know, ultimately that's.
I'm with you. Now, you can't forget the dirty side of life, and there's also people are loyal because of fear. I've been watching.
Oh yeah,
I've been watching Sneaky Pete lately on Netflix.
There's a new season out of that.
Is there? Oh, dude, I just got. I'm in like probably halfway through the second season.
Oh yeah, there's like I think there's a season 3 or season 4. Real quick before we continue moving forward, like I want to do a community health mental check their pulse real quick here in just a second. I saw a couple things that were said in the chat that I want to address. I'm not going to glaze over it, so we'll hit in just a second. But yesterday I had a really cool thing happen. I'm not going to call out the person, but somebody that you know, Jay, and we can talk about this off air or whatever. But ultimately, I was talking to somebody and said to this person, "Hey, you know what? They were talking about just really struggling and going through some real hard stuff." And I had thrown out the idea of like, hey, you know, even if it just starts with talking to God, I want to remind you that God's never left you. You probably walked away from him. He's there and he's waiting for you. And if you want to talk to him, he's there, right? No sooner do I text this out and say, hey, I love you. I basically said a prayer doesn't need to be this long, big, eloquent thing. It's just like talking with him and just having an interaction and a relationship. I no sooner have that, and I don't have the card on me, and I'd have to look in my phone. But a guy walks up to me in Home Depot. I've got on a cutoff, and I've got all my tattoos showing and whatnot. And the guy says, "Which one of your tattoos means the most to you?" And I was like, that's a really interesting thought. So I thought about it for a second. I was like, this is an interesting, for somebody just to approach me immediately and just like, boom, like, which one of your tattoos means the most to you? And then he asked me why. And I was like, well, you know what? I've got scripture written on me. I've got, like on the inside of my arm, it says forgiven right here. That has a lot of meaning to me for just a lot of the things that I did in my life versus where I'm at now. And I do believe that Jesus has forgiven me for those things. I said, I've got a little dinosaur up here for my daughter, my Addisaurus, if you will, that's, connected to my daughter. I've got something for the Marine Corps on my stomach. I mean, that's a really hard question, but I guess I would tell you that maybe not what tattoo was my most special to me, but that my faith talking through my tattoos would be what I would answer. And he's like, great. And he's like, looks like you got some scripture on there. Can you tell me what those are? So literally I'm standing in Home Depot and I'm literally regurgitating scripture that's on, the Bible on my left forearm to this guy. And I don't know where this is headed, right? He's standing there with somebody else. And he was like, you know what? I just felt like I was supposed to come up and talk to you. And I don't know why, but I wanted to give you this. And there's somebody in your life that needs this. And I was like, this is okay. So he hands me a card. And it's not exactly what I just said to you, but the gist of the card was that God will never leave nor forsake you. You may have walked away from him, but he'll be there when you come back. And I was like, I literally just had this conversation with someone not 3 minutes before walking into Home Depot. Now you're handing me a card saying the same thing and telling me that this is for somebody that I know and I literally sent this to this person. And she was like, this is everything that I needed to see today. Thank you so much. It was so encouraging. And I really am going to make some changes. I don't know, dude. I just thought it was really, I don't believe in coincidences in that form. Like, dude, people don't walk up to you randomly and tell you, hey, I wanted to make sure to, you've got somebody in your life that needs this and did it. Nah, dude, it was super freaking cool.
Yo, that's a pretty cool story, man. There's something more behind that, right? Yeah, not a coincidence. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. What's up, brother?
Billy, good to see you, bro. Let me touch on this real quick. So somebody said, There's two things that I want to touch on. We were talking about mental health. If you're just coming into the show, we were talking about just being very real, and if you can in the chat, if you something you've overcome or something you're struggling with. So Double O Tats said, I'm perpetually crying on the inside from the loss of my youngest son's mother to suicide, but not letting it stop me from turning moments into momentum. I appreciate Jay Chains for listening to me when I was tattooing him. Bro. Whew. Talk to me about that. You talked to, I mean, if you don't mind, like if he obviously brought it up. So let's talk about it. So as you were getting tattooed, he was talking to you about this.
Yeah. I mean, it's real. I actually live streamed it on X the other day. We live streamed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Until I think we were pretty darn close to the end when I think my phone it died. It just ran out of juice because it was about an hour and some change. And so, yeah, we got into it, man. We got into life. We got into kind of the fun side and kind of the struggle side of it and stuff. So I would urge everybody to go back. I will, I think today, I can't go back in StreamYard now, but I think it was just today when I'm back home now at my computer, I went in because StreamYard's got like the AI clip generator thing. So, I was able to clip the video and schedule them all out. Yeah. So between now and when I get back home from Singapore, so October 4th, there's a couple of videos coming out every single day that are included with that. Some of the Fight Club stuff that we did at the clubhouse, all sorts of things over the last 4 or 5 days of creating content in Vegas will all come out, over the next couple of weeks. And so feel free to hit subscribe on my channel. Make sure you check out the X as well, but all those videos will come out. And so a lot of that stuff that we talked about, again, real, it was just a conversation between two guys, just having a fun conversation while I was getting a tattoo. Yeah. Listening to my custom song too.
Double O Tats. I just want to say, just prayers to you and your family, man. That's a very, very real, very tough thing to work through when people, when you lose someone like that unexpectedly, it's just, it's heartbreaking, and it makes you ask why, and then a lot of times people are left searching. So I'll definitely continue to pray for you on that. And then somebody else said, Darren, I've always joked around, is this Darren or Duran? We never know. He's told me before, and I've asked a million times. I'm sure he'll tell me in the chat again, and I'll still forget. But I think it's actually just Darren. I think.
What's that skit with the Aaron?
Yeah. I don't even remember. Who is that? Is that
Key and Peele?
Yeah. Yeah, they're funny. So my biggest struggle is balancing family life and working / trading, especially now at the peak of a bull market. I don't know that I'd argue that we're at the peak of a bull market. However, balancing family life, working, and trading is a very, very real thing. And I think for me, that's a prioritization thing. Right? Like, yes, you've got to make money to put food on the table. So you do have to prioritize work to an extent. But I catch myself at times when I don't need to be responding to every single thing that's coming through my phone when I'm doing stuff with my daughter, when I'm spending time with my daughter. And I catch myself like really trying to set real deal time aside for the family stuff, as opposed to because a lot of times I'll try to kind of mesh it all together. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And what I realize is that everybody's getting a percentage of me. And I don't want that. I want my daughter to have all of me when I'm around her. I want her to have my attention. I want to give her my attention. I want to remember these things. Think about how distracted you are. You can go through a whole driving down the highway and get somewhere, and you like, I don't even remember driving here, because you were messing around, talking to somebody on the phone, doing this, doing that, whatever. I think it's the same thing. I think we can go through life with these distraction pieces in our hands all the time, which is the computer, which is our phone that's in our hand all the time. And so while I understand what you're saying, that struggle, I think that struggle can be conquered by really prioritizing, you setting the priority. What am I prioritizing today? Do I have a cutoff time of what time I am no longer doing work stuff with the, unless there's existential circumstances or whatever? Put some rules in place, follow those rules. And I think that will help you, be able to press forward in the long run.
It's interesting, right? Like, and not that I haven't thought about it before, but I feel like it's been more of a discussion point lately is, look, like, we talk about in crypto all the time, like, have a plan, have an exit strategy, like have a plan in crypto if you want to get rich. And I feel like because crypto is so front and center in a lot of our lives and it just is consuming and all of that is like maybe we forget to also do that in life. Like remember you need to build out a plan in life because or else you're just fucking floundering. And I feel like sometimes that's where I'm at too, right? You put so much emphasis into this ecosystem, especially grinding and during a bull run. We may be cooling off right now. I expect quarter 4 to be hot and heavy, but
I think so too.
Like we expected other months in this year to be really, really powerful, but they were kind of a drag. So we really expect October to crush. So probably what's going to happen is it's going to suck. And then November and December are going to be our months to shine. 2026, we go into a bear market. And then from there, who knows how the rest of it goes. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I even think we're going to have the same bull market, bear market type stuff that we got going on. I think at this point we're following the stock market more than anything. I think we've gotten so institutionalized that I don't know. I think we're going to get some pumps from obviously the halving. That's going to happen. That's just going to happen because of math. That's just math works. But there's so much institutional interest. I don't think the institutions can afford the massive drops. I think there's a lot of altcoins out there that we're expecting to pump that aren't going to ultimately end up doing much of anything. I think there's some that are going to do a whole bunch that we, didn't expect. There's always going to be the crap coins that are out there that people are making money on. There's always going to be the scammers. There's always going to be all of these different pieces, but I don't know that we're going to have the traditional back and forth of the markets. Let's talk about the market psychology real quick. Okay. Why do smart people make dumb decisions in crypto? Kind of shifting gears here. So you started to talk about it earlier, and so I thought this would be a good thing to talk about real quick. The dumb stuff that I'm seeing in crypto right now is on these now. People are making wild amounts of money from what Jenna tells me, right? Her and I have had some conversations, and she's telling me about what all these people are doing and this, that, and the third, and how much money they're making and blah, 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 right? I personally am not going to sell my soul to the devil for crypto. Okay. I'm just not. However, there's a lot of people that are willing to, and I'm using a very extreme example, but talk to me about what you're seeing on Pump Fund. I haven't dove down the rabbit hole that is this thing, but from the little bit that I've seen, bro, people are making some very dumb decisions in crypto. And although a lot of people and creators are making money, I promise you that there is a massive amount of people that are losing money and losing a lot of money in the wake of all of this. So talk to me about what you see with that.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like it's all about the creator fees. And I think that's what people are chasing, right? Because effectively you can pump your chart could dump, right? Leaving some bag holders, even yourself as the dev, your bag could end up being worthless. But if you created enough of a push in the beginning, you're going to earn those creator fees. And that's pretty much what people are after because they heard, what's his nuts? It made like $500,000 in creator fees. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so you hear these stories and people are like, oh, I can do that. But then, I'm hearing stories of other people trying this and they're making $30 in creator fees because they don't have the following. Like, and so now again, what you're talking about is really the sad part of all of this is what's the driver then to get some views, do something crazy. And people are, we've heard the Pump.Fun stories, horror stories of what people have done to get views, to pump the chart, to get the coin moving. But my God.
Well, Jenna showed me like there's a guy that's like running on the treadmill till 100 million and then he's sleeping the rest of the time. I've seen girls touching each other's boobs. I've seen all sorts of just things that are like, huh? Like every time the girl would touch the other girl's boobs, the market would the chart would pump. Have you seen this?
No, and I just don't like. I don't care to, right? Like I've thought a few times, like, would I do a coin? Would I do this? I mean, the situation would have to be right, but I'm not into like doing weird shit. Like, what in the world would I want to do to like get views? Like,
yeah,
I prefer to keep, and this is maybe an old school thought, and maybe this is just because we're both boomers and you got more gray hair than I do at a younger age, which is fine by me.
Thank you for the reminder. Thank you.
Of just like making sure that your brand is like you have a reputation because that's all you got. However, that's how I think is that listen, I'm 43 years old. I don't want to be doing a stream, doing weird shit because like I have a wife and I have a daughter and like I want them to be happy about who I am and what I do. Like, you know, and sometimes I think in my mind, and I've had this conversation with other people before, like, does Howard Stern consult with his mom or his wife before his show? Like, what's going to happen? No, not at all. But I would rather just know that like my family is proud of what I do than be a garbage human being just to make some money. The money would be nice. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to sacrifice my reputation and my brand
Yeah.
for some quick money because as you guys have seen, I've been in this space for a very long time. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to just like make a million run. Like I want to be here in 10 years. I want my daughter to be making videos in 10 years, whether it's with me or on her own or whatever it is, right? Like we're building legacy. We're first adopters. We are early. We might as well stick around a long ass time and create those legacy media names.
Yeah. I have personal experience with doing things against my moral compass to make money, and it never ends well. Like point blank period. There are a lot of things that, you know, I've talked about very openly, mainly with, you know, selling drugs and whatnot, but that are totally against everything that I was raised, everything that I believe in, against, you know, against my faith, against my better judgment in terms of the lifestyle that I was leading, and just all the way through and through, against all of it for money. And I look back on it, and it was some of the most unfulfilling times in my life. And some of the most fulfilling times in my life are happening right now as I'm digging into my faith, as I'm digging into my time with my daughter, as I'm, you know, trying to figure out what's the best way to scale and grow my business. Hey, what's this new show, Trust Me Bro, with Jay Chains and Jenna going to look like? How can we provide real deal value for people that are watching? What are some different topics that we can talk about for new people coming in? How can we genuinely bring something to the table that people walk away from said table, from YouTube, from TikTok, from X, from wherever it is that they're watching, and say, you know what? I'm glad I took some time today to do that, and I resonate with whatever it is. I don't know, man. I feel like, and again, the money would be great. I would be lying if I said it wouldn't be nice for me to jump on to Pump Fun right now and spend the next 5 hours streaming about God knows what, who knows, whatever it is, and making, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. Here's the reality though. And this is the sad part. I think that if I got on to Pump Fun and did something for the good, right? Let's say I got on there and I started talking to people about mental health, and I started talking to people about drug addiction. I started talking to people about Jesus, and I started talking to people about things that are near and dear to my heart, about being a father, about all and this is going to sound bad, but I think it's true. And tell me in the chat if you think I'm wrong. I do not think I'm going to get views, and I do not think that people are going to be buying a token that presses for the grid. Unfortunately, we've seen the trash that makes people money.
Are you going to be touching boobs on your stream?
Exactly. That's my whole point. Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to learn. Nobody wants to like, we talked about this earlier. Nobody wants to like, you know, figure out like, oh, wait, so you've got like a recipe that might help me in my life, feel a little bit better, think a little bit better, be a little bit better. Nah, you know what? I'd rather go see them touch boobs and then just buy some coin that means nothing in life.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to touch something real quick. Dutchie said, serious question. What happened to your Discord? Did you lose your login? Place has gone more quiet than a cemetery. Dutchie, Discord, just, you know, again, we keep it real here. Discord was the bane of my existence. Crusader was the one that ran the Discord and always operated the Discord. I just haven't been in there or done anything to it. So my apologies. I still love you, bro. And it's probably going to continue to be quiet unless somebody wants to take over in there. It's just something that I've never been good at. I know that I'm not good at it. I know that I don't have the time to invest in it. So I'm just being real and letting people know that's just is what it is. Yeah. I mean, we built a good community over there, and I love everybody, and I don't want, you know, I hate to not, I don't know, be a part of in there. I just can't do it at this point.
Listen, bro, Discord also for me, and especially like we know everybody, you know, Keeper, right? And you're asking about the Discord, so that means you've known him for a while. Like he's boomer, and when it comes to tech, he is so technology like deficient. I'm I like to think that I'm good at tech. However, I have some kind of audio or video issue all the time. So maybe I'm not as good as I think. But I tell you, I hate Discord. Discord is like the worst platform of them all.
Yeah. No, I've just never. I'm fine. Like, but even still, like I like Telegram for a lot of different things. I very much use Telegram, but I have a little Telegram group that I like started, and then I just haven't. You know, this is I like doing. I like doing this. I like being able to sit down and have real conversations and be able to talk to the people that are watching and be able to hopefully pull some clips off of this and get some good stuff and talk about real topics and talk about whatever that looks like.
Life that matters, things that actually matter in life, because it's not all just about number go up in crypto coins and
no, for sure. For sure. What time is it? It's about wow, dude, it's already like 1:30. Are you kidding me? J Chains. Talk to me about what do you want to? Well, I'll tell you what. What do you want to talk about? Where do you want to go with it? I didn't know whether you wanted to go into a little market reality check, or if you wanted to finish kind of some life balance stuff, or some Q&A with the community, some goals. Where do you want to head with it?
I think that that's a good thing to ask me right there. Like, this is a great time for, if you guys are watching, first, smash that like button. Thank you for being here. That's how you can tap yourself on the back, but you could also help us out. So make sure that you smash the like button wherever you're consuming this video, this show. But also, what kind of questions do you have? What are, or maybe some feelings or whatever, and we can address that kind of stuff. So we'll get to that. And I think that we could probably talk. We should talk a little crypto.
We should. We definitely should. I know people show up for that, so we'll talk crypto
in case. So, you know, I think on the week, mixed emotions. Probably everything's down on the week. Today, I think we're sitting at, let's hear. Maybe I'll pull up CoinMarketCap for you guys.
Yeah, let's see.
See, I was looking at betting, doing some betting, sports betting. So the market cap 3.89 trillion. So again, we've fallen back down below under the $4 trillion market level. So, you know, we'll get back there. But again, we might see some negative action over the next couple of weeks, and we can pull open some other charts if we want to in a second here and look at some charts. But, you know, general market consensus, you know, you got that. Bitcoin drops down to 112,000.
Yeah, look at ETH. ETH is down to 41.71. That's a drop.
XRP. What's your favorite coin? Like, what's your favorite? ETH? I mean, I probably not like your biggest holding, but what's your favorite coin?
ETH. Yeah. I just like that. For me, ETH makes sense. I feel like so much is built on top of it. It is my biggest holding, but ETH, just from a standpoint of there's so much good built on top of it. I don't think that it has a wild community that just blindly follows anything and everything that comes out, you know, with it. I think I like that it is the kind of sister to Bitcoin and one of the OGs. I don't know. I try not to. We've talked about this before. Like, the communities, it's the best and worst thing you can do, right? Is get heavily involved in a community. And one of the things I actually like about ETH is that, like, there's people that like it, there's people that add, but I don't know that there's truly like a quote heavy like ETH community. I know there is, but it's not like the XRP community. It's not like the Hexicans. It's not like the chain, you know, the Link Marine. Like, those all have their little clicky things. I don't feel like we see that with ETH, which I like. What are you pulling up?
That is true. So this is the total chart. Let's bring up the ETH chart though, really quick. Let's take a look at it. Throw some of my favorite indicators on there for you guys. This has been
going in the wrong direction.
What's that?
It's been going in the wrong direction. It's been going down and to the right. It's supposed to go up.
Well, you know, I think at some point there's future trend. At some point again, we'll get a correction. Now, if I'm not mistaken, did I see something where like CZ had posted like dips are the opportunity to create like support levels, and like right as he said this, like the market fucking dipped, like took some profits, right? And I know some people were saying earlier that Binance is manipulating the market. Yeah, you think this just started?
Yeah. Is this new news to you because one of the biggest holders in all of crypto is manipulating? No, they wouldn't do that.
I mean, like, you know, unfortunately, that's not even newsworthy to say like, oh, Binance is manipulating the market. Like, they do it every day. every day. That is Binance for sure. But shout out to Binance for making the market move. Listen, it's just a buying opportunity for you guys. You know where this shit's going. It's not going to zero. Like, it's going way up. This is just another buying opportunity for you. Maybe it's the liquidation events. Like, those are kind of like the calm before that's calm before the storm is not the right word, but like, you expect a liquidation event down before we see an event go up. Like, that's just how it works.
But a lot of that is just pure. It's the liquidation events are from the people that are gambling, for the most part. It is the gamblers that are getting liquidated. And again, there's a lot of gamblers, if you will, that do really well. There's not too many people that I see that I respect that run charts that are actually, I feel like, trading and doing like their real deal. I feel like a lot of people are genuinely gambling. I see Crypto Face, he's doing real deal trading. I know Crusader is doing real deal trading. I know that Jason Casper does real deal trading. I know, like, there's a number of people. I'm not saying that they're not out there, but I think that there are few and far between. I think a lot of people like to just gamble in some of these liquidation events where people have turned up these wild numbers on throttled their leverage and just gone wild with stuff. Hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, that is just a fact. I was actually just about to say this. Where do you see the total? Where do you see the total market cap topping?
Total market cap coming off this cycle. All right, let's go back to.
It's at 4 trillion right now. And again, then this question becomes this market, this cycle. I genuinely, and I'll go on record again and say it, I don't think we have the same. I think genuinely, finally, yes, we'll see pullbacks. I still think we'll see Bitcoin, sub 90K, maybe even sub 80K. I don't think we'll see sub 70K again, but I think that we will see sub 90, sub 80, maybe sub 70, but possibly sub 70. But I don't see this just being a straightforward, clear-cut thing. I don't think the institutions can afford to allow us to be that predictable anymore. So go first, Jay. We're at 4 trillion right now. What do you think the peak is before we have a real deal lengthy correction? Let's put it that way.
All right, so let's clean up the chart a little bit. Let's go. So this line right here is the end of the year, right? So that line is the beginning of 2026, and assuming that we are going to see a bear market of 2026, like I've heard some people call for, I'm not sure where we're going with this yet. If we're going to extend into 2026, or if we're going to have this thing wrapped up by the end of the year, tax harvesting, all that kind of shit, right? Like,
right.
It really depends on how the end of the year goes. But I'm excited for November, December. That's for sure.
Yeah. So
with that being said, according to this chart and with this, trajectory that we've seen, this goes back. This is touching tops to 2018, right? This right here is the beginning of January 2018 down here. All right, so this thing touches the top that we saw. It got a little bit of wick action going through it, but right here through 2021, right, at the peak of that. So if we stay on that trajectory, 5.18 trillion by the end of the year could be the market cap. I fully think, actually,
that's a 25% move as a whole.
What'd you say?
I said that's a 25% move as a whole from where we're at right now. If you go to 5 trillion, you're moving up 25% is what you're moving up. It's a little bit more than that, but if you go to 5, it's about 25%. You're saying by the end of the year.
So I honestly think it's going to be more than that. But we need a retail push. That to me is the most important thing that we have not seen, and we will not see until, again, we may see another meme coin season, but we're all just recycling, money from the same people at that point. We need a retail push in order to see that parabolic phase. We need the SEC, the FDIC, and the banks to go forward with the plan to offer that to the retail clients. Once we get there, again, that's immediate exposure to, do we know how many bank accounts there are in the USA?
No, but I know how much money is in checking accounts. There's over $5 trillion worth of money in checking accounts sitting in the United States right now.
Okay, so there's no single figure for the total number of bank accounts in the U.S., but a 2024 report from the Federal Reserve indicates that about 175 million American adults had at least one bank account, and of those, about 41 million adults were unbanked. So let's say 150 million accounts, just for easy's sake. That's immediate exposure to 150 million people. Now, will all of them take it up? No, but you got to think there'll be some wealthy individuals that participate in that. We might see a nice little push whenever that happens.
Okay, so at 4 trillion, Bitcoin is at $112,000 right now. If you think that Bitcoin is going to top out at $150,000, right? That's a $38,000 move from here, right? That is so 40,000. That's about a 26%.
Great psychological level to end it for this cycle and then bring it back down. And then, we get back to numbers. Now, where does it go? I don't know. We got to take a look at the numbers there and see, do we have a gap that needs to come and get filled? Where are the support levels that we saw? Because this thing shot hot and heavy from like 80 up to 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably somewhere in that level is where we're going to see our support level, probably closer to the 80 level.
Yeah. So at 150, I don't want to switch my computer over just because I've got TikTok running off my phone right now. But at 150, what does that put the market cap of Bitcoin at? Can you check that real quick?
So 150,000. Where do you check that at?
Well, just go over to what's the market cap of Bitcoin right now. I'll just do some quick math.
All right, the market cap of Bitcoin right now is 2.3 billion.
Well, it's definitely not 2.3 billion. I promise you that. So it would probably be about 2.7 trillion, 3 trillion, around $3 trillion. I don't think that's a bad number. I think $5 trillion is far from a moon boy prediction. I think that what we will have is some random alts that will do some wild numbers while Bitcoin is, starting to taper off, as we have seen in the past, some money rotating out of Bitcoin into Ethereum, into other assets, as we have seen in the past. I still think that's going to happen. I don't see it being more than 6. I can't see a 50% move from where we're at right now. I just think there's too much
Bitcoin perspective here. We said if Bitcoin was 150,000, $150,000 Bitcoin is a $3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin.
It's almost like it's almost like I knew how to do some math. That's great. Yeah, I can't see a 50% move from here in terms of this. I don't see it. I don't see more than a $6,000 Ethereum. I don't see more than $150,000 Bitcoin. Now, I think some random alts are where it gets interesting for me. Do we see VeChain pop off all of a sudden and do a 10x or something? Do we see some of those smaller ones that are small in the low billions? Because $20 billion in the grand scheme of things in the crypto markets is not a massive, right? So there could be a few of those, assets that really jump in there and make a huge difference for people's bags. But I also think that a lot of those are not going to happen. You're going to have a lot of disappointed people as well. I don't know.
It's funny how I
think I'm holding bags right now that I've been expecting and been telling family they're going to make money on that they're not. And I'm not either.
Right. Okay, let's bring that back to like what we've been talking about here and like the mental health of that, where like you now feel like you're on the hook for family members. Like, man, we know what this is going to do, but everybody's getting pissed off. But that's the time to really like evaluate and think and say like, okay, when people get exhausted, that's when capitulation happens. When we start to see the mass capitulation happen, that's when number goes up in a massive way. Mm-hmm. So we're getting close because people are getting pissed off. People are getting tired. People are getting frustrated. And that's such a good sign. As much as it sucks for the mentals, it's actually a good sign for the prices.
Yes. And it's part of the reason why I am so clear with people when they ask me about crypto. Can you afford to lose this money? Don't put money in if you can't afford to lose it. Don't put more money in than you can flat out afford to lose. Understand that this is a gamble. Please read the Bitcoin stand. Like I give so many different, I never will be like, go buy this. Right? I just don't, right? Dutchy said, I remember Tonald. Tonald is a great example. I'll give you, Dutchy, an example on Tonald, since I was part of the team on Tonald that, we went out down to Atlanta, went down to the debates and did all of the things. And it was fantastic. I got to tell you, Tonald made me probably a couple $1,000s, but I saw almost a 6-figure bag of Tonald that because of my dedication to that community, I sat on. So Dutchy, yeah,
Real talk.
I love you, bro. And I know you were a part of that community, and just be glad that I didn't dump on everybody's head.
Real talk. Moving forward,
Oh,
if you get a bag, are you going to dump it?
yes, I'm
And
taking
you can do
profit.
it smartly. It's not like you got to do it all at once and clip
No.
the chart.
I've learned my lesson too many times, too many difficult ways that you take profits on the way up. It's the way to do it. The only thing that I'm not taking profits at this point on the way up is on my long-term bags that are set out for effectively my daughter, you know. I've got bags that are just and then just moon bags that are just sitting there, you know what I mean? I would love to see my Jesus tokens. I'd love to see that. That was, something that ripped and ran for a while and did really, really well, and it just came all the way back down to next to nothing. But I'd love to see, with the revival that we're seeing in this nation right now, something cool like that, something that has just genuinely just a real raw, not some green monster touching booze
And not to
thing,
take away from it, right? Because we've seen this. And I just want your opinion, because you're more of a practicing faith person than I am, for sure. I saw Randy, right? Miss Teen Crypto. She posted something where she went to church, and it was like a middle of the week. The place was crazy with young people. It's totally full. We've seen obviously since the Charlie thing that had happened.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But fortunately, like it has maybe renewed an interest or piqued the interest of a lot of people. And so you're seeing a lot more faith conversations. You're seeing a lot more posts and that kind of stuff. Do you think that's just a fad and that's going to fade away? Or is this like where we're headed?
I think it's both. I think that right now it's super hot because, I think some people, like, I'll use myself as an example. I think for me, it just was a reminder of how important this is in my life and how much God has done for me in my life, and why am I not sharing this on a regular basis with other people, because it's been so good to me. So I think you're going to find people like that. And then, and as my faith journey continues to grow more and more, I'm just more and more on fire and want to share that more. So I think you're going to find that. I also think that you're going to find people that unfortunately know that this is the popular, cool, clicky, the biggest growing music, right? And fastest growing music on the planet right now is Christian music. I think that there's going to be people that are going to try to capitalize on that like they would capitalize on anything else. So I think it's going to be a mixture, but I do believe that that this is a movement that has, how do I best say? Did you hear that? Oh, okay. Somebody was just popping off some fireworks outside out of nowhere. I think that this is a movement that has been reawakened, and I do think that we have effectively a revival coming through our country. Unfortunately, at the same time, you have wherever I'm not gonna say this right, but basically wherever we have an action, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction. And I think we're seeing that at the same time too, because I'm seeing a lot of hate that comes through when I talk about my faith, when I talk about things that have, a result of my, faith and my love for Jesus and things like that. So I see revival and I see hate and I see them clashing and banging heads, and I don't know where that ends up. And I see people that are real with it, and I see people that unfortunately are going to use it for clicks.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah. So Darren said, we don't sugarcoat things. If you think you suck, or if we think you suck, we will tell you you suck. We do need more of that. We do.
I think that okay. So woke culture, I think, is changing, right? And I think the people are mostly tired of that. And whether it's the you suck or the snowflakes, or the ability to tell somebody something that may be a little bit more difficult, and unfortunately might hurt somebody's feelings, but fortunately, I think there are a few people that are left that have the ability to say that stuff. And it sucks when you have to hurt someone's feelings, but if you need to tell them something, you need to tell them something, right? Like.
Well, in the name of, let me say this correctly. So many conversations are avoided in the name of, quote, keeping the peace, when the reality is, if it's somebody that you like, that's not what relationships are about. Relationships are about love. And so if I truly love you, Jay, and I see you doing something that I know, like, I'm not even gonna, you're gonna know what I'm talking about right now. You and I have had a very direct conversation in the past about something that you were doing in your life too often and too regularly that was like negatively affecting you. And we had some very real conversations about it. And I've been there too, right? Okay, that was because I loved you and I noticed it and I recognized it, and boom, we had conversation about it. Boom, that was having hard conversation with somebody, whereas it would have been easier for me just to shut the heck up and not say anything about it. And I feel like the world that we,
care about somebody.
what's that?
I said, well, if you truly care about somebody and you value your friendship, the relationship, whatever it may be, the hard truth has to come out.
And I think we unfortunately are in a world where people are willing to say just about anything behind a computer screen, but in the name of trolling and being nasty and being evil. But at the same time, people aren't willing to in person tell someone that they love, that they fundamentally disagree with something that they see that's happening with them or that they're doing or that they're saying or whatever. The hard conversations are the conversations that people grow the most from. Flat out. Easy conversations that have no value or no bearing, or talking about what I had for lunch today, does nothing for you. We start talking about fundamentally how to better your marriage or your life as a dad, or your ability to, lead people in one direction or another. Those are real conversations. And when you see somebody doing wrong in those areas and you can have a conversation about it, it means that you love that person. You don't keep quiet about it for keeping the peace.
No, because that ultimately, we know where that leads anyway. Now, what about the people who are like on the other side of like the spectrum there? And I don't mean on the spectrum, but the other side of the ball, where, okay, so you need to tell somebody something because they're an asshole, and you don't expect that they're going to change, but they just need to be made aware that they're an asshole or they're doing something that is not right. But you know it's not going to change. But like, is it the moral compass inside of you that you are compelled to like let someone know? Because I know that I do, right? Like, if someone's being a dipshit, I'm gonna say, bro, like, fuck you, like, you're being a dipshit. And it might be in maybe a more eloquent way, for sure. But sometimes people just need to know that what they're doing is idiotic.
So are you asking me if I think that even if I know that I know that I know that nothing positive is going to come of it, am I going to tell somebody anyway?
Yeah. And potentially negative. Like, they may be just a crazy person that needs to hear that they're being an asshole, and they may, if you know that a physical altercation is going to come out of this because that's just who they are, they'll fly off the handle. But you got to tell them anyway.
In my personal life right now, something that you and I have been talking about, I have someone like that in my life right now. And the actual technical response via like doctors for someone that has that personality disorder, like a true narcissist, as an example, whatever. No, you actually would be wrong for saying something to them. Because now, again, we're talking about something that's fundamental. Like, we know this is not like somebody I met at the grocery store, right? This is somebody that I know that and ultimately, what are you doing? You're wasting your own breath, your own time on someone that ultimately is never going to get or learn or change from what you are saying. So there's no point in even saying it. And ultimately, a lot of times you're stirring something up with the intent of what? Because you know that it's not going to make a difference. So then why even say it? And that,
it's like honking a horn, right?
It's like
you don't have to.
Horn.
But sometimes
people honk
horn to be like,
sometimes people just need to hear the horn,
or they just sit there and just wait with twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the
what
guy.
What if you're honking a horn at a deaf person, which is effectively what you're talking about, right? You're laying on the horn and the person is deaf, bro, right? Like, that's what effectively what we're really talking about, right? We're honking at the deaf dude, and the deaf dude doesn't know what's going on. The deaf dude doesn't hear the horn. The deaf dude doesn't catch any of what is being said or what is being thrown at him. And we know that. So why are we honking the horn?
To make ourselves feel better, right?
To make ourselves... I'll tell you something that I have done, and this mentally, for my mental health, has helped me. I have written out messages, text messages. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but I have written out text messages and then not sent them before.
Dude,
have you done this?
Bro, I would be in so much trouble, like on the internet, or with people in my normal life if I did that. I used to,
Well, what do you mean? I'm
what?
talking about you write it for your own, like you need to get it out. You need to say it. You want to, and then you just delete it. You're saying that you would be in trouble if you did that?
No, if I hit send, because
Oh,
I
you
do
hit
that.
send, but
I
do
do
you?
that all the time. I will go off on people. Again, it's about that same thing where like if someone's being an idiot, like I have the ability sometimes to maybe move a little bit faster than the brain works, right? And I just go and say things. And like it's very cathartic. I think that's the whole it's catharsis for me.
Yeah.
Lay into something or someone and just rip into me like, what are you, a fucking idiot? And then just delete the comment. I feel better because I typed it. Sometimes I do send it, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that is something that more people probably should do if you don't, because it does bring catharsis to a situation with, again, and that goes back normally to the situation where someone's not going to change. Like it's not going to mean anything other than maybe it feels better for you to get it off, to get those words off your chest. But it's just as simple, like you said, write it out. Just that makes you feel better. And then just delete it so you don't cause rife, because that's probably going to cause problem.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a really hard thing that we're asked to do, which is basically to love people that make you feel like there's just no type of chance or way that you ever want to love or show love to this person in any type of, when we're talking about like some real hardcore issues, and it's a really hard thing to do. But one of the things that I have learned is that if I'm holding on to something and I am just thinking about this person so much, and I'm hating this person, I'm having all of these things, they're living genuinely rent free in my head. A lot of times that person doesn't even know because they're clueless to the world the same. They don't even live in the same world that you live in. So now what? I am basically penalizing myself with the idea that I'm going to show this person, or I'm having the, when the reality is all I'm doing is beating myself up, dude. And I want to live and be free. You know what I'm saying? And so forgiveness, as an example, though a lot of people, forgiving someone doesn't mean that you forget. Forgiving someone doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. Forgiving someone doesn't mean that you just act as if nothing happened and everything's back to normal. It doesn't mean that, even kind of, and in nowhere will you find that in any sort of teaching. Forgiving someone, a lot of it is you're doing it for yourself. You are letting go of something that you're holding on to for yourself. And if someone has done me so wrong that I'm walking around carrying that and I want to truly let it go, that's what, for me, a lot of times forgiveness is for, because I don't want to carry the load anymore.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know, just an idea, because I know I have one person in my life in particular that I would tell you that I don't know that I've truly forget. It seems like every day something else new comes up that I would need to be forgiving this person for, but that I don't know that I've truly forgiven this person, but I sure have said a lot less prayers for him to get hit by a truck. So like we're working in progress, not perfection, right? And so
Progress, not perfection. I think that's like a key takeaway, right?
Yeah, and that's the same thing with everything in crypto too, right?
That you take that back to the 1%, right? And in trying to, again, I'm gonna work on being able to quantify that I am actually doing the 1% better thing here, right? Like I can keep a scoreboard and like all the things that I know that I'm accomplishing that would make me start to work on that 1% better every day in every vertical of my life and every facet. I feel like that's an important step. That's part of the plan. That's part of the process. That's part of being, again, a better husband, a better coach, a better follower, a better leader, a better reply guy, whatever it may be, right? Whoever you are and wherever you are in your life, like you obviously going to have your own little verticals. I know where I need to probably make the improvements, but I would like to actually put them, even if I don't think I need improvements, I should probably put it in there.
Dave said, Keeper was like, I don't post a picture of my lunch because it's not important. The next half hour of chat talking about lunch. Anyways, no, I want to see us all do better and be better all the way around. And if you're doing verticals on being better and doing better, and then you let that in your personal life, I think it'll spill over into your investment life. It spills over into every single facet of your life. If you are more at peace, you make better decisions, point blank period. If you sleep better, you make better decisions. If you eat better, your body is in better shape. And you do just all of the things that we do outside of the crypto space. If we want to, I see people talking about, well, let's talk some more crypto. All of these things that we're talking about, while they are not just crypto, they at the same time are also very much intertwined in our ability to do well in crypto and to make solid decisions and to take profits when we should take profits and not be so damn greedy when we shouldn't be. Just like they're just basic, real deal fundamental life ideas that play into our investment as well.
You're darn right, man. I'm sitting there thinking, what you were saying in the beginning. It's like a vehicle, right? It's a car. Obviously, you need gasoline for your car to work, but your engine's going to need a little motor oil and some coolant, or else you're going to burn the fuck up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while we're all always filling up our gas tank, man, remember your coolant and remember your fucking motor oil.
That's right. That's right. Well, we love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here, dude. Make sure that you're following Jay. Make sure you're following Jenna. Make sure you're following me on X, on YouTube, on all of the platforms that we're on, which is most of them. We appreciate you guys for being here. Jay, anything going on the rest of this week that you want to let the people know about, or anything? What's up with you?
I feel like I've been on the road. I knew September was going to be a rough one for me, being home, being with my girls. But I'm home this week. I got to put together a few things, and then Friday I fly to Singapore. And again, like I said earlier in the show, it's a fucking make or break it moment for me. It's a shit or get off the pot. Like I need to come back from Singapore with a job, or my fate in this industry is to be determined at this point. So yeah. I've got if people are throwing out positive vibes and all that stuff, which I will do for you. If you come to me with an issue that you got, man, I'll throw some positive vibes out there. I know Keeper will probably throw a prayer out there for you. For sure. So, for me, it's about finding this next phase of where I'm going in this industry. I would love to just continue doing what I'm doing, man. But again, it's all about the fam and making sure that the girls are taken care of. So heading to Singapore, watching, our girls fight, which is going to be interesting. We got Jenna against Aaron, the blonde broker, October 1st, CFN in Singapore. So I will be there. I will be reporting live from the field. So
I can't wait to see it, dude. Where are you actually going to stream the fight, or you're just saying you're going to be just kind of interjecting?
So they'll be like, what would I do? Pump Fun stream it when you can watch it? Now.
Well, now, yeah, Pump Fun stream them getting ready, and them taping their hands and doing,
Okay, so now you're talking about some different utility into a token where, listen, I go to a lot of these fights. I go to the UFC fights. I go to the CFN fights. There's no reason why we can't start going to more. Maybe that's part of what it is it's the, we've got fight clubs and all that stuff, but now we're behind the scenes. You can see the training rooms, the people getting ready before the fight, talk to them before, a little bit before, not right before they go, because you got to be in a different headspace and stuff. But
what's the time difference?
I think like 12 hours.
12. And so the fight is going to be at probably 7:00 in the evening or something like that. Probably before some of the right.
Probably going to be a morning fight for you guys. Let's see. Do we have?
Yeah, I'd love to see what that looks like.
And maybe if you streamed, I could always, if my phone's working, I could always call in.
Dutchie said, I want to fight Jenna too, but I'm not sure if her husband would let me though. Oh boy.
Do they have? It just says October 1st. I don't see a time.
I just wondering. It's probably gonna be like 6 or 7 a.m., which is fine for me. I'll be awake. I'll love to see how that plays out.
There's gonna be some good fights. So Keith's fighting Keith Berry. I didn't know that. NFC Kid versus Jamed.
Who's Keith fighting?
It looks like a dude named Jamed. Let's see. I can probably pull that up. You guys can see.
Huh. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, I don't know who that is. Okay.
He's probably a local Singaporean legend, because I'd seen a post saying it is experience versus experience. 2 warriors with battle-tested records step into the ring. So Jamed may be veterans. Okay, so yeah, he's been around for a while. It looks like it must be a Singapore local.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it. When do you leave? You said this Friday?
Friday, yeah, Friday
And then,
evening.
so what's going on for the show next week?
We will or won't?
I'm asking.
What day is
Tuesday? So it'll be. I just want the us to be on the same page. It would be. Oh man, this would be like literally like midnight for you or whatever.
No. It's the 26th, right? Wait, I'm in the wrong month. We're in October. Wait, where the fuck are we?
No, we're in September.
Okay, so it's the 30th. I will be there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We'll talk about it between now and then.
It should be good to do the show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it between now and then. But everybody in the crypto fam, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends, do all of those things. But really, what I want everybody to do is go out there and love somebody, share some love, be a better person today. Share that love with other people, and yeah, just do that. Maybe you can make some more money while you're at it. Maybe you can do a better job being a dad or a mom, or be a better job just being a husband or a wife, or whatever it is that you do on a daily basis where you can actually make a difference. I pray that each and every one of you is able to make a difference, and then let's make some money along the way.
Do that.
So, all right, cool. Well, I love you, bro. Hope you have a great day, and everybody else, yeah, keep it real. We'll talk soon. We love you guys.
Have a good week.
See you.